Well, welcome to the fourth episode of the Collective Sessions Pro Artist Series. We're so delighted to have singer-songwriters Jenna Nicholls and Peter Mulvey with us here today. So welcome.
Thank you. This is your fourth episode. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we're moving right along. How did you both meet, and how did you both end up creating art together? And how did you guys end up going on tour together?
I was minding my own business, and I play a lot of gigs. I've played a lot of gigs for a long, long time, for 20, 30 years. And, occasionally someone will email you out of the blue and just say, I'd like to open a show. And Jenna sent me a video of her most recent tune, and it just knocked. She's very good at this writing songs thing, in a way that, if I could be crass, a lot of people are not, but she is. And I was like, okay, well, this needs to happen. It just knocked me out. And then so it was a little, it was like a little art center on the Cape.
It was the Vanilla Bean Cafe.
Oh, it was the Vanilla Bean.
Connecticut.
In Connecticut, yeah. And we immediately bought, you like this tune? We're both sort of have a reverence for the 30s. Sort of
vintage music, vintage jazz,
right.
Early jazz.
Right, songcraft. We're just nerds. We like the same nerdy stuff. Mm-hmm. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I think. And then
one of us is a nerd, and the other one is really cool.
Precisely. Right, and then here's where I think it really took off. I was like, we should do a record of those songs, and that's where you establish yourself as the conscience of the operation. You're like, everybody does that. Let's do a different thing. Let's do a record of our own songs that happen to be in that spirit. I tend to be lazy and go for the low-hanging fruit. And you were like, no, let's, And ever since then, I propose ideas and you shoot them down?
No, that's not true. But we both write songs in that kind of style. And so that might not be what we generally do and what we're known for, but we both have those things in our arsenal. And I knew that about Peter, and he knew that about me. And so then we were trying to figure out what to do. I was like, why don't we just do our own? That way, we can really create this thing that is, us, rather than just, doing a standards album like everyone has heard a million times. And then, if we want to do a couple of standards in there, great, but we can really focus on developing our own work. And so that's what we did. And it was really, really fun. And the whole collaborative process was great. I would just basically email him something, and then he'd email me back, and we would just bounce ideas back and forth. But I think, to your credit, one of the things that has been so enjoyable about this is that, I will work on something and I'll create some sort of arrangement of something, and then he'll listen to it and just kind of go he'll just knock it one click to the left, and it'll just make it perfect. And cool. It's just great. It's not anywhere that I could get it there myself, so it's really just, you're always just coming along and just putting the cherry on top, which is really so nice. Right.
I feel like we have a complementary set of eyes, a complementary set of ears. Generally you hear things I don't, and I hear things you don't, and
right.
It kind of just, honestly, it tells you what you need to know. Once we start working, the fact that things get done, they get done quickly, and they get done, I think, fairly well, or at least we both enjoy them. Now we're going to go out on the American road and find out if anyone else.
I think that this industry is so difficult. It's so difficult, and I think I'm just really in it for the enjoyment of it. I don't need to make $1 million. I'm not reaching for the stars. If that happens, great. But I'm, so the thing that I'm really trying to focus on is just being happy doing the work that I want to be doing. And so, it really doesn't matter if people don't like it. And as far as I like it, you like it, we like it collectively. And that's really, at the end of the day, what is important to me anyway. And so and it just brings me a lot of joy, and I think you enjoy it. Do you enjoy it?
Oh, I really do. Yeah.
Great.
It's courageous to shoot for happiness, right?
Yeah.
It is courageous to shoot for happiness.
Yeah.
That's your goal.
I feel like the hyper-capitalism has rendered us all peasants, so we might as well be happy. Like we've reached that point where if you can do a thing at all that you think you're enjoying and is good for other people, with as we play out the late stage of whatever this is, like I'm happy for you.
But also,
so I'm happy for me.
Yeah. But also, you can tell when people are what their goals are. You can tell when someone is trying to be famous versus someone who is just trying to be creative and do their best work. Like, it shows. And so, and I've seen people, and I also think that, like, if you're trying to be famous, then you're just going to burn out, and it's not going to work. Like, you just have to be in it for the long haul, for the enjoyment of it.
Yeah, it's super inspiring. And Floyd Mercantile, you guys end up in a decommissioned old store in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, with creaky floorboards and dusty windows and this old vintage aesthetic place. And there you are with another musician, and you just, no sound booths, no high-tech recording. You just went in there and did this thing. How did that affect the final product? And what was the purpose of doing that project?
You kind of got it right because you knew the Beehive production guys better than I did.
Yeah.
And so they
We
coughed it up.
were really fortunate to be connected with Sue and Jeff, who run a pro audio company called Beehive Pro, and they have a relationship with this microphone company called Palooza Microphones, which is also incredible. And so their thing is doing field recordings. So they do live shots. It's really beautifully executed, and I was always a fan of their work. And so when we started talking about this, Peter was like, we should just set up in a garage. And I was like, no, we should contact these guys and see if they're into it. And they were totally into it. So Jeff then scouted some different locations and knew a guy who owned this mercantile, and he said, we can do it there. And so then Jeff and I sourced this piano from a thrift store, and we paid $5 for it and had it delivered. And his friend
so
came
cool.
in and was a piano technician and did it up. And then when I was driving down, I have no idea what this piano was going to sound like, or what kind of condition it was going to be in. I just had a few videos from Jeff, and I was like, I think that'll work. But I was like, just in case it doesn't work, I went to the fabric store and I bought this fabric that you can put over the piano hammers to just kind of mute it all out, just in case there was some clangy crap going on. Wow. And so we did that, and so the things that were difficult in the actual editing process was it's not a recording studio, so we had street noise. There was a bike marathon while that was happening.
That's right.
And so every now and then we'd be tracking something, and these guys would go by hey, Jim, on your left, and you'd hear it in the recording, and there were buckeyes falling on the roof, and then at one point we had everything set up, and then it started to pour down rain, and so we had to tear it down and go downstairs, find a different spot. And, and so in the recording we did a pretty good job of kind of dampening all of that down, but in the recording you can still hear some creaking floors and all of the things that make it an old mercantile.
I was going to say, do you think that adds to the charm of the overall effect?
It was definitely the fourth player in this ensemble.
For sure, yeah.
That's a great way to put it. Well, with that, you guys want to do a tune?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Should we do that one?
Yeah, sure.
All right. This is called Green and Gray. I guess I would have written this while I was pitching woo toward my wife. That sounds so awful.
That sounds really terrible. When you had a crush on her.
When I had there you go. Green and gray, quiet dawning of a cool spring day. The birds just singing now as if to say, how lovely you are.
Gray and green, the leaves and sky and all that's in between, the faded streetlights and the sidewalk scene, and one last star.
Oh, last night we walked and talked and stopped to kiss and talk some more.
We
Marveled at how fast the sky unfurled. Stumbled on this old park bench and sat down until the world was green and gray. I've got a feeling love is here to stay. Let's go for coffee, but first let me say how lovely you are. Last night we walked and talked and stopped to kiss and talk some more. Marveled at how fast the sky unfurled. Stumbled on this old park bench and sat down until the world was green and gray. I've got a feeling love is here to stay. Let's go for coffee, but first let me say how lovely you are. How lovely you are. I spent that entire take thinking, the problem with hiring Ross Belenois, who played all the guitar parts on the record, and like, I'm a competent guitar player and he is a virtuoso, and I've been in this business a long time. Like, the move is you just dish.
Hand it off.
Right, you hand off to the person who is best suited to do the thing. I don't know any of these guitar parts. So we're going to hit the road in 2 weeks. I'm like, maybe should
you
learn.
should practice.
Oh, but that would be so me in my 20s, you know? And this is me in my 50s. I'm not going to practice.
Yeah.
I'm just going to worry, and then I'm going to flail on stage.
Was this Maury your first gig?
No.
No, the 28th of May.
The 28th of May.
Oh, Manhasset is a gig that I'm doing at the
okay.
Unitarian
That's tomorrow night,
Church.
right?
Yes.
I will be sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay, so the gig, when does it all start, the tour?
So the 28th, and we're
Madison,
Burr
Wisconsin.
Oak.
Yeah, the Burr
Madison,
Oak in
Wisconsin.
Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
One of 4 states whose state capital is named after a president. Can you name the other 3?
Nope.
Just realized it's been 3 years since we recorded Jenna at Pips. And off you went out into the big bad world to record. I was curious, what has that been like in the 3 years' time that you've been actually touring? You left, I guess, the quote-unquote corporate world and went out to be an artist. How has it been delightful, and how has it been, I don't know, maybe like a process of disillusionment? Or, I mean, we who have not left the island, you know, and gone out to sea like that, sometimes like to romanticize what that really is. But I'm sure you've really experienced the difficulties of becoming an artist and going out on tour and trying to make it. Curious if you could talk a little bit about that.
It's been really, really a wonderful experience. You know, I was at a corporate job for 25 years, and then just to be able to get on the road and drive and see, even today coming in, I was listening to a podcast and I'm driving. I was like, this is my job. This is great. Like, I'm not answering a phone. I'm not, filing a complaint of someone else's complaint. I'm not dealing with any people that aren't my people. Like, it's really wonderful. And I've met so many amazing people, like such as Peter, and, just being able, like, this is work. Like, I just can't believe this is work. Like, it's incredible. And I actually remember we were talking about this earlier today. We took a ferry from somewhere in Delaware.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the ferry and turning to you and just like, we're at work. Like, just like, yeah, like this rocks. Like, it's so great. And then, the performing and the meeting people, I love it so much. And just the life experience is just, it's gone through the roof since I started doing this. The things that are hard are when I'm not traveling, it's trying to remember that I still have value when people are not giving me a gig, or, people are, not getting back to me, or, like it's really hard. There's so many people trying to do this, and the way that the industry is set up right now, everyone's staring at your social media numbers, and because I don't necessarily like to play with a cat next to me, I'm not going to get like a huge number of views or go viral. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not a great artist, So it's just trying to keep the faith and know that it's just, you got to just keep pounding the rock, and hopefully you can. I just want people to be able to come to a show and enjoy it, but you got to get the show first. So it's just a lot of that stuff, and just being heard, and hopefully people like what you have to say.
I guess, like you said before, you can't forget who you are and why you're doing this.
Yeah, I want to have all these experiences, but sometimes it's really hard to get people to understand what you're trying to do, and like they have priorities. Their priority is, I need bums and seats, and can you do that for me? And unless I have a certain setup, social media wise or whatever, they have less faith in that I'm able to do that. So that can be really, really difficult. Sure. So that's the part of the job that I'm not really loving, but it's such a small part in the whole grand scheme of it, and I feel like I have a lot of people who are helping me, and Peter's one of those people, and Peter's manager, my manager. I have a great team. You cannot do this alone. You have to have people to help.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have I've learned that you both have sort of a love for vintage, older music. Where did that come from? Was that in your household growing up, or is that something you found on your own? Like the song Commuter is like this really cool aggregation of all of those vintage images and metaphors. The song, I heard it described as you being vulnerable, and the idea of going out into the world and taking a risk like you're talking about, but then coming back home to someone that's waiting for you, and that sort of recurring cycle. I was thinking, what is it like because you and Brendan live these two separate lives. Mm-hmm. You go out on tour, and then you come back together, and then you go out and you come back. You're both separate artistic commuters in your own right. Mm-hmm. How do you navigate that?
It's really hard. It's really hard because there's always a re-entry period that is like, it's the worst.
You're hitting the atmosphere, and there's some friction.
So there are times when I'm at home alone for 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks, and I really enjoy it. Because I can wake up in the morning and I can go straight to the piano, have coffee in hand, and just play all morning. And when Brendan's home, I can't do those things. I get my routine set up really well. And the same is for him. Like, he can play whenever he wants when I'm not at home. And so then when either of us come back into the space and we're in each other's company again, it takes like at least a week for us to stop stepping on each other's toes, and then we usually have a big fight, and then we're fine.
The transition from I back
Yeah,
to we.
it's like the reentry is tough, but we always work it out.
And the vintage.
Oh yeah, the
stuff.
my mom was a librarian when I was little, and so she was always bringing home books, obviously. But then that when they formed a video department, they had like 3 videos to start, and one was Top Hat, which was Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm was the other one, and then there was another one, A Singin' in the Rain. And so I have seen those movies probably 4,000 times, and I could still watch them very happily. But all of the songs in those movies, they were written by Gershwin, Cole Porter, like those were the hits of the day. They didn't call that stuff the American Songbook. They just said, these are the hits right now. So I really just got into it, and there's a form that happens with those songs that just kind of like, okay, you know what's happening here, like how the bridge is going to go, and so you just kind of become aware, and you grow to understand how those songs, like the format of them and how they work. And so I just really love them, and so when I started writing, that just seemed like the natural thing for me to do, So that's how I got into it. I don't know. How did you get into it?
It was one tune, and it was just the pure mechanical delight of you take Irving Mills, that tune Moonglow, and just that the melody is the same. It had to be Moonglow, way up in the blue. And the way that the guide tones, basically I just got taught that tune on guitar, and it's, it had to be, there. It had to be Moonglow, way up in the blue. Just that the melody stays static, and one of the tones within the chords descends and just keeps descending. And I was, I came into guitar playing kind of through Michael Hedges and all these avant-garde, sort of technical guys. And then I was just suddenly confronted with the simplest thing, And I was like, that's so hip, and almost nothing is happening, And I was sucked in. And then once you get sucked into those tunes as well, there's the same very deft touch with heart. They might be talking about heartbreak, but they do it so lightly. Like, I always think all these great tunes were written in the 30s and the early 40s, like while we were, but then as now, in the middle of like this global upheaval and fascistic lurch and like ominous stuff, and everyone was like, what we could use right now? We could use, it's not the pale moon that excites me, like, no joke. There are some indelible things that hold up even in tough times. So
You're just seized by it. And it was a salve at the same time, almost.
Yeah, exactly right. It's both escapism, but a return to something just very human, very tangible.
That's very cool that you guys both share that similar propensity for the vintage music. Guys want to do another one?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to do...
Do one that you wrote, because we just did one that I wrote.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully I won't mess it up. So this is one that... Let me just make sure. Okay. So this song is called Dreamers Awake. And I was sitting at the dining room table with John Lideau, who I play guitar with. And we had just had a pretty full weekend of working out stuff. And I just sat down and I just started singing this. And it just came out of my mouth. And it was done in like 3 minutes. So
gift from the gods.
Yeah, I love it when that happens. It's rare, but it does happen occasionally. Moonlight, dreamers awake under cover of night where lovers can play. Light from a star travels so far. Do we know how long its journey will take? True love in a world made for two, on an island alone, me and you, always awake with the dreams that we're making under a silvery moon. For those who fall to sleep, their dreams are in safekeeping. High on a cloud, there's a man in the moon, catching your wishes, he'll cradle them for you and smile down his heavenly beam. For tonight, so much more than it seems. And for dreamers awake, it's a night for the taking, some magic for you and for me. High on a cloud, there's a man in the moon, catching your wishes, he'll cradle them for you and smile down his heavenly beam. For tonight, so much more than it seems. And for dreamers awake, it's a night for the taking, some magic for you and for me.
Nice.
Dreamers away, it's a night for the taking.
Dreamers awake.
3 minutes. Is that an exaggeration? Or is it?
Yeah, the melody was done. The melody was 3 minutes. The bridge.
It's disgusting, isn't
no,
it?
no. So the
disgusting.
verse. So the basically the verses came, and then the bridge came a little bit later in the car. Because the bridge, there's a change in Rachmaninoff. There's a Rachmaninoff piano concerto that it goes from wherever I was here, and then it goes here, and then I was like, I'm taking that, so I took
Right.
it. But it's and then that happened, and then when we decided to do this song,
Yeah.
I finished it. It's like I finished the words. I think it needed like one more verse, and so I just wrote the verse. But it was pretty much done very quickly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a friend who, John Seeger, he made this really good point. Like, once you have a really solid beginning, the tune's done.
Yeah.
Like, you'd better finish it because the curtain might not be open long enough for you to follow it through.
Yeah.
But, that tune is done.
Yeah.
You know?
George Harrison also says the same thing. Like, once you start a song, finish it in that session, like, finish it. Because the moment that you're having, creating it, it's not going to come back. Like, you won't be able to revisit that same special thing that's happening in that particular moment again. So get it done. Just as far as you can, So I've always tried to do that.
Yeah.
Even in the most inconvenient of moments,
Yeah,
2:30
like
in the morning.
having impure thoughts in church.
But I always keep my I do a lot of writing in the car, and so I always keep the microphone thing on the phone open. So whenever something happens, I'll just hit a button,
Like a
and,
voice
like
memo
rather
or
than having to
something.
like ooh, like I just
Yeah.
keep it there. And but
Smart.
most of my ideas come like melodic ideas anyway come in the car.
Oh, that's real. Leo Kotke has a tune called Driver, and it came to him in the car pre-cell phone, and he just fished a Sharpie out of somewhere and just wrote it on the leg of his
Yes.
jeans. Like, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
And the phone is really great for that because I used to pre-cell phone. You know, everyone still had an answering machine, and I would call home and leave voicemails for myself.
Oh, that's smart.
on little
On like
physical
the little,
cassettes.
like I'd call myself
Right.
and leave a message on my machine with like on the little tapes. Yeah,
Yeah, on the little tapes. Oh my God, the little tapes.
Yeah.
you got to get it somehow
Little tapes.
because I won't remember it.
I have luxury, I guess.
Yeah, you
Growing
do.
up with technology.
There's a student in one of my classes who, about a week ago, something had happened that was a moment of synchronicity, like a coincidence. And it was Maddie Krakow. And she said, oh, yeah, Pip says there's no such thing as coincidence as long as you're paying attention. And it just so happens that Matt Hoffman, who's running sound right now, had sent me a couple of weeks ago the eulogy that Obama had done for Reverend Pinckney.
Jesse Jackson. Yeah.
Well, he
Oh,
sent
no,
me
Reverend Clement Pinckney?
Clement Day Pinckney, the state senator
Yeah,
of
in South
Charleston,
Carolina.
South Carolina. You know, that horrific
Yeah.
crime on June 17th, 2015. And he says, man, this just makes me cry every time I listen to this eulogy. That's the one where he sings Amazing Grace, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm in tears, man. I can't even get through the darn thing. And then your song, 2 days later, what was it, on June...
Juneteenth.
Yeah, Juneteenth. You're in a dressing room getting ready to go into a gig, and speaking of, you know, the God speaking to you, this song just comes through you, and then you went out on stage and performed a song that you had just basically written in
Yeah.
20 minutes,
Yeah.
20 minutes ago. What was that like? What was it? Something that you were reading in the news? Was it how you were feeling about that horrific moment in American history? Was it a mixture?
It was luck and community. It's always luck and community. Like, you know, that happened. Like, I was opening a run of shows for Ani, and you know, we were playing on the Hudson somewhere, Piermont, the turning point. And then, you know, we're going back to our hotel rooms, and you see the news. There's been a shooting in Charleston, and then the next day, I have a dear friend I grew up with on the northwest side of Milwaukee, and she and I was taking her out to dinner for her birthday, which had been a few days before, and we just talked about it. And she, you know, we grew up in a divided, tough neighborhood in a hyper segregated city. I grew up in she and I both grew up in sort of the black neighborhood of this city. All the cities are the same, but Milwaukee and Chicago and Detroit and Dayton and Cincinnati, you know, hyper segregation and poverty. And so we taught, you know, we'd been kicking around race and America for all our lives. You know, she's biracial, queer. I'm the white guy, you know, and so this was like a 30-year conversation for us. And then, you know, the next day in the dressing room, like, I mean, Ani is from the same town. She's from Buffalo. Same thing. Hyper segregated, post-industrial, last hired, first fired, you know, the whole thing. And Terrence, her drummer, you know, again, like, you know, he's my age. And he's from maybe one of the only places the antidote will ever come from, New Orleans. And he and I were talking, and, you know, and I don't know. I went in the dressing room, and I just was so upset. And I wrote that tune, and then I wasn't gonna play it on stage. but it's Ani, and like she's stuck her neck out so many times and taken so much heat for saying the thing that needed to be said. The women always take more heat. You know, like Sinead O'Connor's another great example. You know, like being willing to say the thing that is true, that is not polite. And so I sang the tune, and yeah, and then just it was all luck. It was, like that tune went on. That's the only like folk song I ever wrote, in that other people sang it without my asking them to. And then someone was like, I had written just one. There were 9 people. 9 people died. There were 11 people in the room. There were a couple people downstairs. Like, that was an awful thing. But 9 people died, and somebody asked me, well, I had only written a verse for one of the 9 people. And they were like, are you going to write 8 more verses? I was like, I do not have this in me. Like, I'm upset,
Yeah.
And then someone called me and was like, I want to sing that song. And Ani said, I want to sing that song. And I called them both back. I was like, well, then can you write a verse? Like, it's just 2 lines, right? Write a verse for someone else. And then like hundreds of people rewrote that song. Weird. Like Peter Yarrow from Peter, Paul and Mary wrote a verse, and it was very Peter, Paul and Mary. And he's like, and racism will divide us, but we will, and it's like, okay, aesthetically, I'm not with you, but you did march with Dr. King, like on and on. It's just a wild.
That is wild.
And like any of those things, it's never about you, and nobody ever did it on purpose. We were we were talking about this, like when you look at even a great song, like great in stature, Joe Hill, it's not aesthetically particularly a great song. It's just of a moment, and it gets taken out from under you because people need it. Mm-hmm. I guess that's it. And to all the people who ask, like, well, where are the great folk songs now? Like, they're still being written. They're just being written by Bad Bunny and by Kendrick Lamar. Like, that's where the great folk songs are now. So, wow, that took a turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even take the flag off of the pole. It was, take down your flag at half mast.
Yeah.
At least have the humility and the compassion to do that.
Oh, I have been
to mourn with all of us together.
Yeah.
So that was that was a moment. That was a moment. You have a line in that song. It says, "It will take all of the love in all of our hearts, and it will also take more."
Yeah.
It seemed as though you chose to exclude a particular definition of what more is. I have an idea of what, I guess we all can add an idea, but what did you think that more meant when you wrote it? Or did you not know?
I don't quite know, except to say that everyone I've met is capable of love. And clearly it's going to take more than that, right? And whatever that thing is, it's going to take political revolution, and it's going to take internal revolutions, and it's going to take systemic revolutions, and it's going to take revolutions on the family scale and on the childhood scale. Like, we clearly have a lot of work to do as a species. You're in my wheelhouse now. I love to talk about the species, because, we've had a real good run. It's been a nice 230,000 years, Homo sapiens sapiens. Most of it was intelligible to us. And then there's a band called the Primate Fiasco up in Western Mass. They're a jazz band. And I was like, you're talking about like the last 8,000 years where we were just one species of ape, and suddenly like we're all over the planet like bread mold, And he's like, yep.
That's interesting. You're a science
I'm a
activist and
relentless
also an
nerd.
artistic activist. You have that interesting duality about you.
Thank you for noticing. Yeah, it's definitely been a marketing coup, because people love to hear nerdy thoughts about the fact that our species is just a blip in the universe. It's, like...
Yeah. Vlad. I think.
Oh, yeah. Have you encountered that thing?
I did.
Right. That may be the
That was-
most famous thing I've ever done.
It was a blip, he said, right?
Yeah.
He humbled us with a blip. We're just a
Right.
blip.
Right, like, The world is weird. I want to be a folk singer, but in the course of being a folk singer, I don't even want to be a folk. I want to sing songs. I want to collaborate, but then the things that have gotten out from under me and become famous have nothing to do with that. I don't know what to do about that. We're all lucky. We're all lucky to be
You're not
here.
doing it. It's doing it through you, I suppose.
I suppose.
You connected two dots for me, though. That was really profound, I thought, because when I heard the lyric, it will take all of the love in our hearts, and it will also take more. I was like, love is great. We could talk about it, but if you are the victim of a crime that's so horrific, such as that, and then for the family members of the people who passed to forgive the perpetrator, grace. That's grace. I couldn't even. It's beyond words for me. So I was happy. It brought me a great deal of joy that you left that open, and I could fill it in based on what my heart was feeling after having experienced the lyrics of that song. It was very cool.
Glad to be of use.
Yeah. Sorry to bring us down, but
No, down.
yeah.
No, not at all.
Let's hear something. Let's hear another song.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we gonna?
Do you want to do Considerable Charms?
Yes. Totally, I want to do that. I'm going to remember how to play that song right now. Oh, yeah.
Down.
No capo whatsoever,
capo.
right?
I
Okay.
was like, I'm not going to be able to do that. There we go. In my time, I've been free with my dimes, as old John D. himself. Oh, mama, why you got to keep me on the shelf? I'll be your honeymoon, your lazy afternoon, your grand adventure, or your careless lark. Oh, mama, why you got to keep me in the dark? I never knew that I was blue, lost without your sheltering arms. I never knew that what was missing was your kiss, until I fell under the spell of your considerable charms. I'll make you laugh and cry, I'm just that kind of guy. Do your dishes and mow your lawn. Oh, mama, why you got to keep me hanging on? I never knew that I was blue, lost without your sheltering arms. I never knew that what was missing was your kiss, until I fell under the spell of your considerable charms. I'll be your holy fool, I'll be your golden rule. I'll love you up and down and through and through. Oh, mama, why you got to treat me like you do? Oh, mama, why you got to treat me like you do?
I have chills now. Thank you.
Oh my God, I love the way you just You slay that
Thanks.
lyric. That is,
My voice just cracked. Thanks.
Slayed yourself.
I cannot let that song ever get performed without saying that I did not write the first line. A woman named Maisie Gordon wrote the first line in like 1930 something. The great Joseph Mitchell, the North Carolina journalist who came up and he wrote for the New Yorker early in New York. Maisie Gordon was the queen of the Bowery, and she was this character who ran this like Bowery nickel movie theater where drunks would come in during the matinees and sleep it off, and if they disrupted the kids, she had 2 rolled up magazines with rubber bands, and she would beat them out of the establishment, and like then she would like feel bad and give them money. And she said, "In my time, I've been free with my dimes," as old John D. himself. I'm like, oh, come on. The song's done. Like, you know, just write the rest of the song. So it's a co-write. That's great. I feel like I want to go live back then. And then
I
I'm like,
always think that.
yeah. And
But then you have to remember, like for me,
people were dying
it
of
would be
cholera.
tough for me. It would be
Right.
tough for me. Like I'd be in a kitchen. I wouldn't be singing songs.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I was playing a gig with Vance Gilbert, and Abby Gardner, who's from the city. And she was like, yeah, I just love the 20s. I wish I could go live back there. And Vance, an older black man, said, yeah, me too. Hey, let's date. Okay, game, set, and match.
Jenna, were you just born with this unique voice that is just innately vintage? And I've heard you do trumpet with your voice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I've actually heard it. It's just so amazing. Is that just something that you developed based on your passion for vintage and older music, or is that just something that's just part of your register? And
So it was out of necessity because I was playing a lot of solo shows, and then when I would write, all of most songs set themselves up to have like a really nice solo, and for somebody else, but there was no somebody else, and so I had to come up with something to fill the space, and so I just started to go like to kind of.
just started
just
to
to
go.
give
She
me
just
something
started
to
to go.
do so I could finish the song. And the higher register thing came from when I was little. I used to do impersonations of Snow White, and like I'm wishing for the one I love, so that and like it was just she was an opera singer, like that the character in that the voice of Snow White was actually an opera singer. So anyway, so I used to do that when I was a little kid, and then I totally forgot about it. And then I went to see Eddie Vedder play. He put out a record that was all ukulele songs.
The ukulele record, yeah.
And so, and it was incredible. Like, it was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. And it just made me think about the ukulele in a totally different way. And so I was thinking, like, I have that. I have one of those in the corner of my room. I should learn how to play it. And so when I was writing songs on the ukulele, my voice accidentally went back up there, and I had remembered, like, oh, I can still do this. So, and it kind of fit really well with the ukulele, so I do that a lot. So the trumpet and all of that kind of stuff kind of worked its way into the ukulele songs.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how that happened.
Now I wish I had seen that concert because I...
Oh, it was so good.
Right? All I remember was seeing the album cover, and he's got a ukulele standing by the water, and he's brooding, and I'm like, dude, you can't brood with a ukulele.
You can. You absolutely can.
Apparently
And
you
he does
can.
it really well. Yeah.
Being that we're in the studio, going back to the studio portion of things. So, Peter, in 2015, 16, and 17, you did a 12-hour concert to a live and an online audience.
Yeah.
Right? So this is 12 hours straight?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think I've done it, I guess three times in a row. I should do that
So it's a
again.
marathon of sorts.
It was. I remember,
And a fundraiser, too?
Yeah, exactly. I
Okay.
picked like 12 different causes and And
I see.
it's partly just that I know so many songs, and I've written a lot of songs, but I know a lot of songs. And I used to be a busker. That's kind of how I got that's how I really got dumped into this, was when in 1989 I took a semester over in Ireland, and I just cut classes and went to Grafton Street, and I met the crew that was on the pedestrian mall in Dublin in that year. And that was the year, I think Fisherman's Blues by the Waterboys had just come out. And so everyone was singing those tunes. And I was like, really? You can make money just like hanging out with guys and singing songs in the rain? And, it ruined my life. And then, and then in Boston, I moved to Boston when I was like maybe 22 or something, 21. And same thing, I was working a temp job, hated it. And then I went down in the subway and I made like $110 in a day, But it got me very good at playing for long stretches of time. And I still have that muscle. I kind of don't feel warmed up until the end of a show, honestly.
Yeah.
I should warm up, but I'm not going to do that.
I feel the same.
Right?
I am ready to go. Especially an opening set. Oh my God. I'm
Right.
Yeah.
I want to go actually do the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we should see, the thing about the 12-hour show is that you gotta, I gave myself a 10-minute break so it was at every hour I would take a 10-minute break and go pee or just look at a wall or something. We should do a 12-hour show.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
I'll just step in every 10 minutes, every hour for 10 minutes, and then you can do the rest.
I'm just saying we could tag team it.
That's
20
fine.
minutes,
Yeah.
20 minutes of us, 20 minutes of you, 20 minutes of me, 20 minutes of us. Just
40 minutes of you, 5 minutes of me.
lazy.
I'm lazy.
Who can be lazier?
Yeah.
Are you, though? I wanted to ask you about your voice. You clearly have facility and range and control. How much of that came naturally and how much of that is work?
That's a good
And just
it's pretty much
equal-
it's pretty much all natural. Admittedly, I really don't I don't practice singing. I don't warm up. It's just a very natural thing. And so I can just do it. There are things though that are harder to do than others, and those things I do practice. And then it's all about just when I'm working out how to sing something, I will sing it 100 times in the way that I want to, and that way my muscle memory will just take over then. Mm-hmm. And that way, if I'm playing in a really loud bar and I can't hear myself, I know that I'll be able to do it, and I can do it without hearing anything. But beyond that, I didn't have to learn how to do something or learn how to sing a higher range or lower range or anything like that. I was really fortunate to be able to do it. So it's something just kind of freaky, I guess.
So you are a mutant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're very
Once again.
we're very fortunate that you can do it too. So. And Peter, you have this sort of unique ability to use your art as a catalyst to provoke altruism in your fan base. I think that's really cool.
I think that actually has more to do with the fan base than with me, right? I really mean this. I am so lucky that I get to essentially be a care worker and a knowledge worker. That's what being a musician is. But man, you luck into it, right?
How do you mean, care worker and knowledge worker?
I'm a knowledge worker in that I'm not punching a clock. I've punched clocks. I've worked in factories. I've worked in restaurants, and this is a different thing, and it's easier. It's easier than what most of the people on this and the other 5, continents that are inhabited do. Most people punch a clock and they work. you know. And then if you're really lucky, you get born into one of those countries where you can be a university professor, a musician, you know, a psychiatrist. And, you know, those are great jobs and they're useful. And they can be beautiful and inspiring, right? But like my whole audience, like if you're going to be into me, you probably have a degree in something and you read a lot of books. And so like you already know that you're really lucky. If you're listening to me, you're already the kind of person who all it takes is some sentimental schmuck like me to be like, hey, I'm going to go sing in the street and you send money to places, right? So I think it has it's got more to do with the fact that people are generally good and they're generally generous and they're generally benevolent. And my audience is all three of those things and then really lucky. Yeah. Do you know, they got a NutriBullet, you know, in their kitchen. you know what I'm saying? Like, all right,
I have a NutriBullet.
I also have a
see,
NutriBullet.
right? You see what I'm saying?
I love my green shakes.
Yeah, right. Like you find your crowd in all these ways. Like I do these tours by bicycle, and like my manager.
Yeah,
I do tours by bicycle just to stay in shape.
Wait, the last one you did, I think if I read correctly, you went from Wisconsin to Boston. Is that right?
I did that. Yeah, I've done that twice in 2009 and then in 2019. Usually they're much more modest affairs. But like my manager and my publicist are like, this is going to be great, you know, because we can cross market. No, if you're into bicycling like spandex and carbon fiber and all that crap, you don't listen to my music.
You're a road bike guy.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
But people who are into biking are.
Yeah.
I just like to get a bike, you know, in civilian clothing and then ride improbable distances while talking about science and crap. Wow. You have a NutriBullet?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, well played.
I take mine on the road with me.
What?
Yeah.
I'm about to find this out.
Yeah.
I try to.
I make smoothies in hotel
green
rooms
shake
and all
every
kinds of
morning. I
stuff.
gave this guy a sample. I gave him a small green shake about a year ago. I said, "You're gonna love this. It's gonna change your life." And what did it do?
Destroyed me.
It destroyed him. Yeah,
he carries his with us every day. He comes in with it.
With your NutriBullet?
No, not the NutriBullet. But the shake, yeah. I have brought my
Might as well
NutriBullet
bring the
in.
NutriBullet
I have made a shake for my class once because they're like, you and your shakes, Monty. Okay, fine. You're gonna get to share the shake. So
Shakes are great.
God.
And the other story where I think you fronted like $2,000 worth of albums and you gave them out at the show, but there was a condition.
Yeah.
You know, you said, listen, these are free, but you know, either give to a charity of your choice or go volunteer. And so you get that token to take home with you. And then you're like, okay, there's a hook that's hooking me for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. So
I feel like we're there. You know, there's a thing that they do in Ireland that I've loved my whole life. Like if you buy a used car from someone, you know, and you meet him through the newspaper or whatever, and then you write him a check for, you know, €4,000. They give you back like a couple €100. Just like, that's kind of cool, because what they're saying is like, just in case like this thing suddenly throws its radiator a month from now, it's a way of saying like, I just here.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like generosity breeds generosity, and like I just like the places we have that in our cultures. Yeah. Anyway, I just
love that.
Yeah, I hope so.
Get ready for another
one more?
Yeah. Do you want to do a uke tune?
Should we do Skylark?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's the move, yes.
So this whole album project started because while Peter was sound checking at the Vanilla Bean Cafe, we started talking about this song, and we realized that we both really liked jazz. And then that just started this whole project rolling, and this is a song that was had Judy Garland at the center of it. And we put another track on the album called I'm Always Chasing Rainbows, which was sort of Judy's answer to just a song about herself. And so we're going to do Skylark because it's the one that got the whole ball rolling.
Yeah.
Love it.
And Jenna being the conscience of this project, I have now for 15 years wanted to write an essay called I Listened to 33 Versions of Skylark by Hoagie Carmichael. But I am lazy. And Jenna was like, you should write that book, that essay.
And he did it.
And I did.
And it's great.
Or you did.
It's great. It's really good.
Oh, it's all about one note in this song. And now I don't remember how you sing
Is
it.
that the
but-
illustrated book we're referring to?
No,
No,
it's a different-
this hasn't
yeah.
come out yet. It hasn't come out
Yeah,
yet.
it's on its way out.
Love it.
All right. Hoagie Carmichael's Skylark.
Skylark, have you anything to say to me? Won't you tell me where my love can be? Is there a meadow in the mist where someone's waiting to be kissed? Skylark, have you seen a valley green with spring, where my heart can go a journeying over the meadows in the rain to a blossom-covered lane, and in your lonely flight, haven't you heard the music in the night? Wonderful music, faint as a will-o'-the-wisp, crazy as a loon, sad as a gypsy, serenading the moon. Skylark, I don't know if you can find these things, but my heart is riding on your wings. So if you see them anywhere, won't you leave me
Oh. That was gorgeous.
What
you.
a tune.
I wrote that myself.
It was really cool to see you both smiling throughout that song,
We really love this music. We should
Yeah,
go
we
play
should
this
do
for
this.
people.
So, you saying that was all just natural is kind of hard for me to hear because
It's not that I shouldn't really say that. I mean, I'm a much different singer now than I was 20 years ago.
Totally.
Like I was just very loud 20 years ago, and now it's, but you learn how to listen to yourself a little bit more, and ways to manipulate your voice in different ways. So I mean, I do work at it. It's not,
of course,
like and writing is the same. Like you start out as a novice and then you just get better at it. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's
there.
okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. I had both questions. I think as a woman trying to get into the industry, it was really nice to hear you talk about how, like, just free your writing is, I guess. And I kind of wanted to ask, do you ever feel constrained to, like, write, whether it's just about love or, like, other men? Because I feel like now there's such a stereotype around women that it's like, if you don't write about romance, like, you're not going to connect with your audience. Like, how do you combat that? And do you just write what you want? And does anyone ever tell you what to write?
Okay, I love this question. I love this question because I actually hate writing about love.
Yeah.
I think there are so many more things that are interesting. I don't hate writing about love, but it's not my favorite thing. I mean, I have love songs, you know. But there are so many topics that you could write about. And songs don't have to be brutally, you know, like rip my heart open and stamp it on, pound it on the floor. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. It's like songs can be funny. They can be angry. You can use all different kinds of emotions when you're writing about songs. Like when you're writing songs. And I think authors get a pretty, you know, open door to all of those things, but songwriters are really limited into what is going to be, you know, successful.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love about songwriting is that you don't have to write about love. You can write about anything, and I think very few people actually know that you can do it. That you can go anywhere you want to. And if you want to write about something crazy, write about something crazy. Just do what you want. I mean, the whole thing is that you just have to be, I hate to say this sounds cliche, but you have to be true to yourself and just write what you want. Write what you want, do what you want, sing the way you want, and you then become a tastemaker. Don't wait around for other people to tell you how you should be. And people, like, have enough faith in yourself to know that people will like, somebody out there is going to like what you're doing. Yeah. I guarantee it. Like, there's a whole group of people that'll probably like what you want to do. But you just got to be courageous and do it. Like the people who start singing and they sound like somebody else, or they're writing and they write like somebody else, those people fade away really, really quickly. It's the person who has that unique voice, who writes what they want and they don't give a shit about what anybody else thinks. Those are the people that end up with a really long career that has highs and lows just like everyone else's career, but they have the most staying power because they're the ones who are saying, like, this is my voice, it's unique to me. And what happens is when you're writing, you will have something that's universal because you're being honest with yourself. Someone else will share that feeling with you and you're going to strike a nerve with them. And that's what is going to open the door for you. Does that answer your question?
Oh, of course, yeah. Okay. And it was nice to hear you talk about, like, the style of the voice and that just being that little different, finding that niche pocket will find the people that want to listen to you. Because I feel like in musical theater I've been so limited because, you know, everyone in musical theater, they want you to sound the same on Broadway. So I'm excited to find that niche, like, pathway.
Yeah, that's actually something that I have an issue with Broadway in general. Like, it's a certain genre that you have to sing a certain way and project a certain way, and a lot of times the emotion behind the song is lost, and you are limited in how you interpret the song. And the key to really reaching someone is to really inhabit the song and then put it forth in a way that is meaningful to you. And so when you are being trained to sing a certain way, that can really limit that. And so that's what I don't love about musical theater. Yeah. But maybe you can be the one to change that.
Hopefully. I'm going to try my best. And I hopefully will make it there. I have a question for you, too. So you were talking about the science and artsy balance that you have, and I feel like I really resonate with that because I'm a total science nerd and I bring it into my art all the time. How do you bring that aspect of, I guess, just pure life and science into your art, and do you connect with your audience on that? Do you write it in your songs? Like, how does that contribute to your work?
Again, I love that question. I think, especially when you play a colloquial form of music, like, you know, folk music or like guitar music. There's this theory that if you learn too much of, if you learn music theory, if you learn fancy chords, somehow the mystery of what you're doing will be dispelled, right? And I think that's a cultural hang-up. Like we always talk about the split between science and religion. There's no split there whatsoever. Like science is constantly pushing at verifying what it is that we can know, but like there's plenty of mystery within it, within everything we've already found out, and for me the big challenge honestly is just finding ways to talk about this that are, I feel like I'm a sort of a translator, and sometimes you have to run straight at the absolute dorkiness of it. I wrote a tune once called Trees Are Cool. And I was, trees just stand there every day. And there was like the second verse, this is a type of tune that I write. I was very proud of this. The second verse goes, water flows up them. But I read that it also flows down, and I dropped a friend of mine out of her chair. The show had to stop. She was like, stop singing. That's the funniest. Because of you can run toward the dorkiness. But again, what was the big... Oh, right, Dar Williams slipped all sentient beings into a lyric recently. You just put it in there. It's fine. Just throw nerdy stuff in there. And they're out there. Ben Folds is like a gigantic nerd. Yep. That dude is clearly from a galloping horse, a nerd. And I actually think you can represent the nerd class pretty proudly. Most people, once they're reminded that it's real nice not to have cholera and polio, they're like, oh, those nerds are pretty great for us, aren't they?
You know who else is a nerd that I think you'd really like is Andrew Bird.
Yes.
Big nerd.
Big nerd.
Yeah.
Large nerd.
Love.
Tall nerd.
Love.
Tall nerd.
Yeah.
Nice.
And a great actor.
Great actor, great writer, great performer. Yeah.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Whistler.
Yep.
Thank you for
that theme of being yours, I feel like the song "Some People" is so unapologetically itself. Allusions to the moon,
all the things,
Abu
right?
Akbar, then Namaste. Everything is cooked and baked into that tune.
Cryogenic stasis. I got the word
Yeah, you got that one in.
cryogenic
That
stasis
was
into a
good.
song, and I was
Yeah.
thinking about Ted Williams, who had his head. When he died, he had his head severed and frozen. Does anybody know this? Yeah, Ted Williams.
Wow.
He didn't want to pay for the body, so apparently he figures they'll construct him again. And then the machine thawed out, so the Ted sickle.
Correct me. Would we be pushing our luck if we asked for one more? Some people, and if we're out of time,
We can try it. We have not rehearsed it in some time, but we can. We'll see. We had
This
just
is
have to.
totally-
Peter's used to playing this song solo and has played this song solo for a long time, and then we turned it into a call-in response. And when we were recording this, it was really hard for you to not keep singing and to
You have it more firmly in your mind,
I
yeah?
do.
So
We'll
just
give it a go.
point at me when
All
I'm going
right.
to sing, and
Well,
then
I have a
We'll try
lyric
it.
sheet here if you want to.
Oh no, I know.
We know the
I know. The
lyrics.
problem is I know too many of the words.
Yeah.
Should we? Let's try.
Yeah, let's try it. It might not go well, but we'll
This is
give
gonna
it
be
a
great.
go. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Some people go to the synagogue, some people go to the woods, some people go to a shrink and they think everybody should. Some people go crazy in plain sight on the streets of the neighborhood, and I go,
Some people go to Washington, some people go to the moon, some people go to a timeshare on the shores of a secret lagoon. Some people go the whole distance, some people go out way too soon. I just go.
Some people go for a nice sandwich, some people go for a song. Some people could go on forever, and some already gone on too long.
And some people go and they put their heads in cryogenic stasis. say.
Some people go too long without getting laid on a regular basis. Some people go Allahu Akbar. Some people go Namaste.
People
Some
go, peace be with you.
Some people go, wait, hey, hey.
Some people go, I know just what God is thinking, no matter what you say.
I just go, Some people go by bicycle,
Some people go by truck.
and some people go for the ladies.
Some people go for lady luck.
Some people go har, har, har.
Some people go nyah, nyah, nyah.
I just go,
Some people go to the tavern. Some people go to the church. Some people go to Airport
Some
John's.
senators,
Some-
yeah.
Airport
okay.
John's, and they leave their reputation.
I got the verses out of order. Is that the verse after this?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, and then
I loved how different that one
yeah,
was.
besmirch. Some
Yeah,
people go away from
we
the
could
altar.
keep going. The
just
verse
to
has
leave
the
someone in
song has
lurch.
like 18 more verses.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Some people go by bicycle. Some people go by
Yeah.
truck.
UX.
Oh, so it was some people go.
Some people go to the tavern.
Some people-
go
that's
to the
what
church.
comes
out of People go to the church.
Yeah.
Some senators
And then
go into
so
Airport
John's, and they go reputation besmirch. Some people go away from the altar and leave someone in the lurch. I go then the bridge. Some people go from home to work to home. They watch some TV, brush their teeth, call it a day.
Some people wish they could have that life.
Wish they had
Some people have that life. And all that they can think about is how can I get away? Some people, they go lightly.
Some people go heavy as hell.
Some people go, all of this could be better.
Some people go, this is all just as well.
Some people go,
Some people go to the mountain and get their souls rung like a bell.
I just go, Some people go, all will be well, and all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. I just go, Leave that in, because that's a fun way to come at that song. God.
Thank you both for taking time out of your busy tour to come and grace us with beautiful music. Thank you for using music as a tool, not just for us to enjoy, but to heal and to help a broken world. You know, it's so inspiring, and we really appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having
thank
us.
you.
This was so fun.
Right?
All right.
All right, I envy us.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Holy smokes.
Some people go
Super fun.
from
Yeah, that
home
was
to work to home. They watch some TV, brush their teeth, call it a day.
Some people wish they could have that life.
Wish they had
Some people have that life.
and all that they can think about is how can I
get away?